That's what you have to make. Valerie, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Here.
Ms. Griffin. Here. Mr. Red.
Here.
Mr. Skidmore.
Here.
Dr. Smith. Here. Ms. Miller. Here. Mr. Bowman.
Here.
Ms. McLaughlin. Here.
Let's all stand together for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roman numeral item 3, public participation. Do we have anybody? All right. Roman numeral item 4, approval of minutes. Make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 12th, 2024 board meeting. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Red.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 5, building project update.
Yeah, so lots of exciting things going on this month. They've got all the asphalt down, they started driving the parking lot, the sidewalks and curbs are in, glass doors are all up except for 2. The building is actually securely locked right now. No one can go in, it should be there, hopefully no one can go in there, just around. We actually have Wi-Fi in the building. I moved my office into the building at 5 now, and it's a functioning office. So we're coming, right on wall. The playground is complete, and it's starting to fill up the furniture. Very excited. We're going to make it.
Thank you. Roman numeral 6A, financial reports request. Recommend the board approve the financial statements for the month ending August 31st, 2024. Do we have a motion to that effect? So, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Red.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 6B, recommend the board approve current appropriations 2024 to 2025. You've received copies of those. Valerie, before we make a motion to vote, just to explain what we're looking at.
Yes, when we started out the year in June, we passed temporary appropriations, which are required by law to start the fiscal year. Now, at September 30th, we are required to submit permanent appropriations. And we really haven't had any change from the temporary, except for we've gotten our grants and those kind of numbers are in the general fund. Appropriation number has not changed.
So make a motion that we approve the appropriations. So moved. We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Red.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 6C, recommend the board approve the district tuition rate for 2024-2025 school year of $8,868.14. I make a motion to that effect. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Red.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 6D, recommend a series of then and now certifications for Beyond Consulting, Liminex, Tolkien Lanes, and Joseph Curran. We do this regularly, but just a quick explanation again for anybody watching or wondering what is a then and now.
A then and now is an invoice that we received that is dated prior to the purchase order that we have in place for that expense.
I make a motion that we approve those. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Red.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 6E, recommend the board approve the donation from Valley View Athletic Boosters in the amount of $40,000 toward the stadium lights. Would someone like to make a motion to that effect? Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I say thank you to the Valley View Athletic Boosters for that. Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Red.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 7, new business, subsection A, personnel. Someone like to make a motion that we approve the personnel action recommended as attached to the report. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffith? Yes. Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
yes,
Roman numeral 7B, recommend the board approve a resolution declaring transportation impractical for certain identified students pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 3327. Valerie, before we move and vote on this, just a brief explanation of what and why.
We are obligated to provide transportation to students who attend chartered schools within a 30-mile radius of us. What we can do, if we declare transportation for these students as impractical, we can make offer to payment to the parent in lieu of transportation. We have to have the board declare that transportation is impractical. We made this declaration, I think it was either July or August. As schools come back online, we continue to reach out to them, and we've identified a few more students where we need to make this offer to, and that's what this is for.
Great, thank you. I make a motion that we approve that. Do we have a second?
so moved,
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffith? Yes. Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Roman numeral 7C, recommend the board approve the addition of one assistant varsity boys basketball coach, one freshman girls basketball coach, and one varsity girls bowling coach. Would someone like to make a motion to that effect?
I actually have questions. Can you explain to me like why you need like these many coaches, just so people can hear and understand?
I'll ask Coach Albright to speak to the bowling one.
So for bowling, we have been dealing with 4 teams of about 7 or 8 per team for the last couple of years, and we've been doing that with 2 coaches. So during matches, Coach Burns and I are typically with the varsity team. We have a JV team, actually 2 JV teams, and we try to get back and forth as much as possible. It's more out of necessity, really, for the coverage of those students during matches. Even though we're in the same bowling alley, it's hard to get from the varsity to the JV, make sure the kids are safe and everything else.
So there's not someone overseeing, so both of you are attending the varsity team, there's no one overseeing?
We try to float down to the JV, but it's very hard to be a varsity coach and a JV coach at the same time.
And we're talking separate boys teams, girls teams, and boys JV and girls JV.
Right. Another sport. And we've had, since COVID, we've only gone up in numbers. We started out, when we started the bowling team, we started with 2 varsity, 2 JV teams. Then COVID happened and we were down quite a bit. Now we have had the numbers come back up. So we're definitely in need for the bowling teams to have another coach.
And speaking about basketball, on the boys' side, they're the only varsity sport that does not have a paid assistant position anywhere in any of our sports. And so the proposal is to provide them with a paid assistant, because right now we have a handful of volunteers that try to meet that need. And then conversely, if we're adding a position for the boys, we are proposing adding a freshman girls position with the understanding that if there are not numbers to support a third girls team, we wouldn't offer that. We would not hire that position. But it's better to have it there for equity purposes, for on the girls side, for on the boys side, with the understanding that if they don't have a third team, we wouldn't hire them.
So right now, there's not a technical need for that, it's just a forecasting need.
No, those are definitely need for us, because we have multiple volunteer coaches to fill what we can typically pay a person, a full-time paid position to be there at every practice, at every game, versus this coach showing up 1 or 2 days a week versus another coach showing up another couple of days, and then there's no continuity on the staff. throughout the week and on game nights, because they just come and go as they please, because they're volunteer, they're not required to be there, they're not paid to be there. But if we have a paid person, then they are designated to be with that team throughout the week and on game nights throughout the entire season.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I'd like to make a motion to recommend the approval of these positions. So, which one of you is first?
I'll second.
All right. Discussion, frankly, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have if we've got enough kids coming out for bowling that we need someone to be there with them when they are on the lane. And frankly, I've been to wrestling tournaments in the past where you've had understaffed wrestling coaches. And you see circumstances arise where you might have a kid on the mat with nobody in their corner. And, you know, I think it's a big deal if the kid's going to put the effort in to be somewhere to make sure they got something. So I'm thrilled to have this one. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I would like to say also, I appreciate, you know, the transparency of you saying that, you know, we currently don't have a need right now for a freshman girls basketball coach, but if those numbers rise, then we will hire one. I appreciate that because, as you well know, building a new building is very expensive, and we really do want to make sure that we're spending our money wisely.
Absolutely. Valerie, call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Dillon,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
No.
Mr. Rudd,
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore,
Yeah.
Dr. Smith.
Yeah,
Roman numeral 7D, recommend the board approve contract between Applied Behavioral Services and Valley View School District. And make a motion to that effect. We have a second.
second.
Any discussion? Valerie, call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Dillon,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
Yes.
Mr. Rudd,
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore,
Yeah.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 7E, recommend the board approve the quote between Warren County Educational Service Center and Valley View School District. Would you just give for the folks paying attention, would you give a quick explanation?
Yes, it has been determined through our procedures that we have in place in identifying students that Warren County is the best service for this student or students, and this is a contract possession. It crosses the threshold of what needs to be worth.
I make a motion to that effect. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
Yes.
Mr. Rudd,
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore,
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Roman numeral 7, F, G, and H. I think these are all various FFA events, one in October of 24, May of 25, and June of 25. I think we can do these as a consent agenda, can't we? Yeah. And so one's national convention, one's state convention, and one's the Ohio FFA camp. So would someone like to make a motion that we approve these trips?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Second. Any discussion? Valerie, call roll.
Yes, Mr. Dillon,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
Yes.
Mr. Rudd,
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore,
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Yes.
Roman numeral 8, superintendent's comments.
Pleasure to be here. Sorry I was a couple minutes late. We had, with our mayor. Trying to work out some stuff for the school district. Spartan time starts tomorrow in high school. That's an activity where all students starting now can walk, get to choose their path as far as clubs and activities. So that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to spending some time at the high school tomorrow morning and seeing those students do what they love to do. We do have a volleyball game going on over here, so the meeting's going rather quickly, so if you have time to stop by and cheer our girls on, that would be great. And our educational programs, we are looking forward to a 5-day week this week. So we're fortunate this week with evening temperatures going down low enough to keep the buildings cool enough to be in for 5 days, so our fingers are crossed that those cool temperatures in the evening keep us in for 5 full days.
Board member comments. Let's start down here with Keith. Have you go first.
I'd like to say that I'm really excited for the new school, and I've heard it from fellow classmates and especially teachers that they just can't wait to move. And I think that we can all share that.
I don't have any comments.
I'm Tuesday on the sports end. Girls soccer's going well. We've had some tough losses. I believe that Mr. Ryan came to a game, so thank you for supporting us even though we lost. And just keep supporting Valley sports. That's all I can say.
So I have, been lucky enough to attend a couple of the, Friday night football games and, Saturday JV football games, and it's just really nice to be out in the community, watching the kids, do what they love, and, I'm excited that my daughter is, cheering. It's very enjoyable to watch her on the sidelines, so that's really all I have.
So the Parkerville building update, it's nothing new there, everything's the same right now. The air sampling at the building will be during the week of October 10th to the 14th. Once we get the results from that, then we'll be able to start the full bid process. The county still hasn't announced how much money will be available, and they have not handed out to people. So we're going to hear from them. Oh, Valley View Educational Foundation. We have a fundraiser as a quarantine. Can't remember the date. Sunday. Okay. So anybody that's interested wants to get involved. I know Shannon Cox and Michaela Shaw have always reached out to me. So if you have any questions, reach out to them.
I know we thanked them earlier, but the Valley View Athletic Boosters donation for the lights, it's just amazing to me how much that organization has grown. I mean, $40,000 is a lot of money. 10 years ago, that wasn't their total budget, so they've grown enormously, and they spend a lot of money on our kids, so I just like to thank them.
I second that too. It is a lot of money. I want to congratulate the band. They won, competition. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. And, exciting to, see that, the junior high STEM class got to go to Indianapolis to the raceway and do some STEM activities. That was pretty unique and creative way to really engage the kids. I know my grandson really enjoyed it, and, enjoying those Friday night games for sure.
All right, so a couple things. One, I haven't been to a Friday night game yet, and so I've been to girls soccer games. I haven't been to the football games, so you guys have been my priority so far. With the start of the new year, just want to remind everybody, especially parents, and when I say especially, I mean primarily parents, you are going to have questions, you're going to have issues, you're going to have problems, you're going to have things to address. Reach out to your teachers. And if you don't get a resolve, reach out to school, your principals or your coaches, perhaps, if it's a coach situation. Just pay close attention, look at where your child is, and don't always run to the school board or to the district office, because lots of times things can be resolved with just a conversation. And so be mindful of that. Two, along the lines of the athletic boosters, they've been doing their Oktoberfest the last couple of years, and it's been a very successful fundraiser. That helps them help us, and so keep that in mind as that gets closer. Three, this is the last thing I'll comment on. I have heard comments, questions, concerns about LifeWise, and some of you might know what it is, some might not. It's a faith-based organization that uses certain time during the school day with parent approval for some sort of instruction. I can tell you that from my perspective, what the law requires of us, we will do. But I can assure you that I will not allow myself and my predispositions to impact any group when it comes to their access to our students. But my priority is going to be the parents. And so I'm going to make an effort if we can to have our advertising of that, and that's something that comes about, be to the parents, not the students, because they are the parents' children, and they get to decide. So I'm not sure that I've shared my personal opinion one way or the other on any particular group. I might surprise you what mine is. But when it's all said and done, that's something that's been talked about and is being talked about. And so the public needs to know, it's something that's been talked about and is being talked about. And if they want to come into the district, as it stands now, the law requires them, at least from my understanding, that they have an avenue to do that. And so you just need to understand that every group, I don't care what your faith is or your lack of faith is or whatever, every group should get the same access and no one should get preferential treatment. And so just keep an eye on when things like that come up, hold us accountable, make sure that we treat everybody the same. Other than that, I don't have anything else to add. So would someone like to make the motion to be adjourned? We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Please no. All right, Valerie, call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Sure.
Ms. Griffin.
Yes.
Mr. Red.
Yes,
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
thank you, everybody.
We're gonna go to the next two.